Welcome to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Hotner.
I'm Brian Lynch. Hey, Patrick, we should watch a show with someone that made it and learn about the process of making it from them.
Brian, do I have such good news for you?
Wait, what's that, buddy?
Today's the day.
Oh, boy.
This is a podcast, in case you have never listened to it, where we do audio commentaries on TV shows or movies with people who made them who never got to do commentaries for them, whether that means it didn't come out on physical media or the streaming service that they are on did not, have the option for commentaries, which most don't. And guess what? They should. But thank God they don't, because that would put us out of a job.
Well, we don't really get paid for this. So, I mean,
oh, interesting. You're saying we only lose money on this show? Is that what you're saying?
I do it because it's fun. Why do you do it?
I do it to lose money.
Okay, perfect.
Today we're watching the pilot of AP Bio with show creator Mike O'Brien.
Mike O'Brien is so funny. He was a writer on Saturday Night Live for many years and a performer on it as well. And then pitched this show to NBC and they bought it.
They bought it in the room.
In the room. That's happened once to me. I've pitched 1,000 things. It happened once.
Was it something that got made?
It did, and then got shelved.
Can we say what it is?
Coyote versus Acme. But I don't think they used my version of it, but they did buy it in the room.
There's no way to know.
We never will.
No way to know.
We never will. But we're not here to talk about that.
No.
We're here to talk about AP Bio.
If you want to hear us talk about Coyote versus Acme, go listen to the Dave Barclay Who Framed Roger Rabbit episode.
If you wait the whole time, at the very end as a little treat, he talks about Coyote versus Acme.
Yes. But AP Bio, very fun show. Only gets weirder as the show goes on in a way that I think is really good for the show.
This show is, I don't understand why it wasn't an enormous hit.
Yeah.
It's so funny, so smart. Everyone on it is great. It's a great show.
I think a lot of people are discovering it now because of Netflix. It just got moved over to Netflix.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think a lot more people are seeing it now than they ever have. This is the first of 3 episodes we did with Mike. The other 2 will be coming further on down the line. We like to spread them out a little bit, but the pilot, it's a really strong pilot, and I am so happy that we got to talk to him about it because he's a really funny, creative guy.
Great stories.
And has great stories. We're going to count down from 3 and then say go. You can either sync it up and watch it with us, or you can just listen to it as a podcast.
Either or.
Either or will work totally fine. All right, here we go. Let's count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're here. We're watching the pilot of AP Bio. I'm Patrick Hotner.
I'm Brian Lynch.
And who's our guest today?
I'm Mike O'Brien. Thanks for having me.
Mike, how did this show come about?
In my 6th and final year of writing for SNL, I knew I wanted to move to LA after that season. So any week I didn't have a sketch on, I would work on this pilot and another one that I haven't sold. So I came out to LA with it. With it written, but you still pitch a lot of times as if you didn't write it. So this monologue he's doing right now when he walks in was basically the pitch. I went into NBC and just said this half page basically to them, and it was a little nerve-wracking, but it worked.
Was the idea always when you were pitching it that Broadway Video would be doing it, or is that just part of the SNL deal?
I don't know if it's might even be official, but it's more of a I'm leaving Uncle Lorne and he's not thrilled, but I'll make him producer on the next couple things.
Yeah, line the pockets a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
After the pitch, did you then send them the pilot script?
No, I fake went through the whole process.
That's right, yeah.
Made an outline and all that, and got notes on it. And I think their notes may have changed it a little bit. It'd be interesting to see what the me in an SNL office version was. It was pretty close, but I think there may have been some softening of him. Probably my least favorite day in the 4 years of working on this was I went to watch it be tested.
Oh, sure.
With the dials, and then weirdly an all-male discussion group and an all-female discussion group. No idea why they separate them. And they happen simultaneously, so you run back and forth.
Wow.
A Mrs. Doubtfire situation. Yeah.
He has a rose, a red rose when he's with the boys.
That's right. And the people, I don't love throwing this around, but we're dumb.
Yeah.
It must be overwhelming to just watch 22 minutes of something and then suddenly have to break it down, but they were not breaking it down. Great.
Was it in LA?
Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes they'll do them in like Ohio or whatever.
Yes,
just
that's right.
See.
That's right.
Not to disparage Ohio at all, but
No.
Well, was it a challenge to make him likable but still have the edge that you want him to have?
Yeah, that's what I just jumped in my head was that was probably what most of the notes were about and most of the discussions over the 4 years, especially when it was just a script and there wasn't Glenn. Like Glenn Howerton does such a good job of not sounding as mean or something as a typed sentence might look.
sure,
Right.
sure. Was it part of the plan when you first started to make the show weirder as it went? Because it does get weirder as the show goes on.
Yeah, it definitely.
Was that in your brain, or was that something that just happened naturally?
I think it kind of happened naturally with a lot of board comedy writers having, not wanting to do another low stakes. He uses the students to do some small mission. I'll be honest. After I wrote the pilot, I couldn't imagine how we would write any others.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was very frozen at the beginning with that because it just seemed like impossible that he could say I'm never going to teach anything and that could last
4 years, yeah.
yeah 42 episodes of him not doing that. So yeah, that was I just got distracted because Patton came on, was great. I feel like the last person cast, he got cast like the morning of some table read of the pilot, which was great. And Oz Rodriguez directed this pilot and maybe like 4 episodes a season or something.
Yeah.
It was a ton. He's a friend from SNL, Digital Short World.
Just worked on the SNL music documentary,
Yes.
which is amazing, and people
It's
should watch
so
that.
good.
Yeah.
He and Questlove did a great documentary about all the music guests over the years, and the opening 10 minutes is insane.
It's insane. Have you seen it, Brian?
Oh, of course.
It's
yeah,
amazing.
Loved it. Yeah.
Was Patton on a list of people that you had, or did you audition people, or what was the?
We auditioned a ton of people.
Yeah.
No, not for Jack. That was pretty quickly Glenn Howerton. But for Principal Durbin, we auditioned and brought back so many people, and it's such a different show. With
Sure.
If Patton was offer only, and that's who we got, but. I guess as a backup, we were auditioning all these people, but Richard Kind, who I love and would have been
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Who's the guy from Third Rock from the Sun?
French
Stewart?
Yep.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's a very different show, for sure.
Completely different show.
That's so funny.
They all would have been great because they're funny playing low status to Glenn.
Yeah, and also to kids too, which is funny.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What lot did you guys film this on?
This was the first 2 seasons were CBS Radford, and then we moved to Universal.
Okay.
This, of course, was all in love typing a sentence in a script like she's got Jesus hugging John at the funeral, and then getting to set and being like, "Oh, right, someone had to make that." But the pilot itself was all on locations in Long Beach, so
Okay.
we shot at a active school. It sounded like I was going to say active.
Yeah, it really did.
During a shooting. It was the most. No, but it might as well have been because it was so loud and just bells ringing, and like Crafty was out in a courtyard where students were just hanging out, and it
Did
was.
they block off an area of the school for you, or it was just
No,
like you're just okay?
We just had a classroom, but the classrooms on either side had
Cool.
regular.
Oh my
school
God.
equipment.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. So, and then this was a real apartment, but we repainted it, recarpeted, did all this stuff to make it this old lady apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny when we were done, the woman said, "Oh, leave it like that."
Oh.
Because they offered to paint it back to white walls and all that.
She's like, keep the Jesus picture too.
Right.
You want it all.
Yeah.
Do you think working on SNL so long, do you think that helped you with sitcom writing, or do you think it hurt you in certain ways, or how do you land on that?
That's a good question. I think I had a lot to learn about the half-hour structure.
Yeah.
But in the way that that you produce your own sketches and videos, it helped in show running in that way, that I understood that you have to be thinking about their costumes and all that as you're writing.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be talking to someone about that very quickly.
Was this the first thing post SNL, or was there something in between?
The only thing in between was writing and producing on a show called Man Seeking Woman.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
A really fun show with my friend Simon Rich running it. These three, of course, were great. Mary Sohn, right there, was an old friend I toured with at Second City Chicago. Lyric Lewis was from The Groundlings. And the character of Michelle, the third one, was Vanessa Bayer in the pilot. And Vanessa said, "I'll do it, but I'm not going to do any other episodes." She was hopefully about to get a show that she did get.
Yeah.
I forget where she has fake cancer. Have you
Oh,
seen
yes,
It's
yes,
really
yes.
good.
Yeah, I love that for you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And she knew that. And the Broadway and everyone was like, get her anyway. Everything just has to try to get the pickup.
Sure.
And so we shot all of this with Vanessa, knowing we'd have to reshoot it all.
Oh wow.
After a big audition process, got Gene Villepique, who's the third and is wonderful.
So do you reshoot Glenn in that case too? Because I don't
Yeah.
think he was in the same shot as them even.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I think so, though.
Okay.
But yeah, just I
Feels
guess
like you could work around it.
you could have, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a nice thing that if would have been a real red flag, probably
Yeah.
if Glenn put his foot down on that, but he could have.
This is getting real in the weeds. Did you guys have first position on him for Sonny, or
No,
they
Sonny
were
did.
first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was always a kind of stressful thing that we knew we had to get all of our writing done by this, because 2 months later he leaves for the next season or whatever. He and they were pretty good about working with us a little bit, a week here or there. I mean, he would really try to do all of it, but
Yeah.
I understand the line producers of Sunny were like, we have our own.
Yeah.
We're losing
Right.
people.
We need
for,
him. Yeah. Talking about these kids is so hard because every time the camera cuts to a new kid, I go, "Ugh, they're so funny."
Yeah,
They're all really good.
This guy, Jacob McCarthy, the Prince of Darkness in this, was like a really good Irish actor. He's doing an American accent, and he left after one season. And sometimes they would do that, and they'd say, I'm looking to do bigger stuff and everything." And I would sometimes want to shake him and be like, "You're not going to get bigger than
Yeah.
getting to do a bunch of scenes with Glenn and Paula Pell and people
on an NBC sitcom.
on a sitcom."
Yeah.
Right.
But he did, because then he was in is it the Coen Brothers? Was it Macbeth?
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's in that, and he has a scene one-on-one with Denzel. So
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but I mean,
but
Denzel
yeah.
did an arc in season 2 for you guys, though, right? Didn't he came in?
Yeah, he would have gotten that same.
How long does this show take place over all 4 seasons? Because there's discrepancy online. I was trying to figure that out.
We kept it vague because I realized that the students were a lot of what people were loving. Because
Right.
otherwise, every season I was going to have a new class that he wouldn't teach, and I realized that people would be bummed by losing these main 8 or whatever that are a hit in season 1.
Yeah.
So after season 1, we said, well, let's make it, even if we go 10 seasons, that it's one school year.
Very funny.
So it was very vague, and that's the reason for one we're going to watch in a minute, Katie Holmes Day. We were like, so we can never do like a holiday episode or anything, because if you say it's Valentine's Day,
right.
Yeah.
now we're to the final 2 months of the school year. Or
Sure.
something. So no one ever says a date or a holiday, and therefore we made up a fictional holiday that could be any time.
They actually ignored that on MASH because it was longer than the Korean War, but they
Oh,
had a
yeah.
Christmas episode every season. So there were like 8 or 9 Christmas episodes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it became a thing that we were thinking about so much more than anyone else, I think.
Yeah.
And that was when we did want to get season 5, and then call that the last season, and then we would have gotten to burn like prom and
Right.
things
Oh,
like
wow.
that. That we
Every
never,
episode a new
be a
season, a
big-
new
yeah.
holiday.
exactly.
How long did it take between you guys filming it and them deciding to pick it up?
Let's see. So there was that day where those women criticized it, and men, but the women's room was rougher.
Do you remember specific notes, by the way, about like what the women said?
Yeah, one of them said they didn't like that the bully was black and that it was the only person of color in the show. which is just off by like
not-
5.
Not true. I'm looking at 2 right now. Yeah.
Right. And it was a thing that it probably hit me because it was a thing that flashed through my brain, but it's one of those things where anytime you get into those kind of inclusion, diversity discussions, the answer in my mind is just have as many as you can.
Yeah.
And then you don't think about one's a villain, one's a nerd,
Yeah.
one's a and so we were doing our best with that, and it did feel like I also knew, by the way, that by the end of this episode they were going to be friendly with each other, and then within halfway through the season they're like really close. So it's a character that's not as shallow as you might think.
She's with the glasses is so funny.
Yeah,
I can't remember what her
Allison
name is.
Arm.
Yeah.
Really funny, really great. Did not like those glasses, and we came to learn that they were kind of terrible to wear.
I'm sure.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Of course.
She gets a headache or something. I'm sure.
Yeah, headaches, and whenever she had to walk, she was kind of walking blindly. So it's
That's the price of fame, kids.
right, exactly.
Go work with Denzel if you don't like it.
Do a dumb Coen Brothers movie. I guess it wasn't the brothers, but
Yeah.
whatever.
One of them.
We'll do the.
How hard was the decision to leave SNL?
Well, I was put in the cast for my 4th season.
Which I don't know if you remember this. You probably don't. I was an intern that year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was in post. So I was not around you guys a lot, but I was on the other side
Oh,
of the
that's so
floor.
cool.
Yeah,
Got
yeah, yeah.
awkward in here right now.
No, I know. I was around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm just melting together all the different times I've
Yes.
met you into
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that, did you like doing that?
I did. I did.
Who were you
I was with
working
Josh
for?
Hickman.
Okay.
Shout out to Josh Hickman. But a lot of the like post and uploading the show to YouTube and
Yeah.
Hulu at the end and all that.
That
stuff.
was you?
That was me. Yeah.
So
yeah.
good.
That was really good that year.
Thank you so much.
Was that on 6 or whatever, like that area?
No, I was on 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that everyone always remembers one year as their favorite, and that was for a year because of you.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the only
yeah, yeah.
year I really liked.
December 2012 through May 2014. Yeah.
The uploading was just always on
It's
time.
never been the same.
So
but-
anyway, so you're
then
leaving.
being taken out, after that season, they said we'd love to have you still as a writer, and you can be in your own videos, but not in the live show as a cast member anymore. And so that just was less fun to me. It felt like a weird downgrade, sort of. And I had fun doing a couple videos with Oz and Matt Villines, R.I.P. But that was made it like I think I want to get out of here. I felt like if I kept at that for 4 more years, I'd become kind of a crabby.
Yeah.
There's a few people who work there for 20 years and aren't very happy.
Sure.
There's some like Keenan who's very he's just somehow
He's doing it.
Yeah.
He's happy to be there. Yeah. The girl in the front row, her name is Sarika.
Sarika, yeah.
Sarika. Oh, okay. Did you name that after America Sawyer? Because it is just mixing her names together.
That's so true. Oh wow. No, there was a girl that was friends with my older sister in Toledo. I went to high school in Toledo, and my siblings did, and her name was Gitika Gupta.
Oh wow.
And it was just a great name,
Yeah.
and she was real fun. She wasn't as serious and driven as Sarika, the character, but I was just trying to have a name that Jack would like right away, and then I picked a last name of a real philosopher so that it also jumped out to him.
Sure.
He's like he actually likes them. I think that was a arguing point sometimes, that people were like, I like that he hates those kids and fucking, and it's more he just treats them like adults, but I think he relates to their nerdiness because he was like a smart kid, and so dorky things like him being excited that one of the students has a name of a philosopher as a last name is as warm as he's getting.
You directed a few of these.
I only directed one, and I
Okay.
wish I'd done more.
Yeah.
There was I had real imposter syndrome about just being like I was talking to Bill Hader later on. He was like, yeah, I kind of write and direct all Barry, and I'm the lead. And I was like, yeah, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
He just and the show can arguably be better by being more
Single
one voice.
vision. Yeah. Did you enjoy directing it, or
I loved it. Yeah.
yeah?
I gave myself accidentally the hardest episode that season. We're not watching it, but it's called Ride the Ram, and it was just overwritten. I think might be the term. We later on were like, this could have been broken out into 3 episodes.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Durbin's birthday, Spirit Week, Durbin gets a vasectomy. Jack has to step in and ride a electronic bull.
That's a lot of stuff for 22 minutes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so crammed, and trying to shoot all this crazy stuff in 5 days was a lot, but it was really, really fun.
When you were writing the pilot, did you picture anyone in the lead? Or did you picture yourself at any point?
I think I wrote it for as if I would say it all.
Sure.
But kind of was like, if I sold this, it'd have to be like Vibo or something that I would then say, and I'm the lead. I didn't think NBC would buy it. That was a legal thing we had to pitch, and I would pitch
Yeah.
other things to them and they're like, go get a mic. That sounds like a fun one for Netflix or wherever.
You don't want to do it here.
Yeah. Thanks for doing the weird step that you have to do where you say it to us first. And this one in the room, they were like, yeah, we'll do it. We're going to shoot this.
Wow.
They bought it in the room.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that was because they had Lauren and Seth and Shoemaker involved? Were they already
good
on
pitch,
board
Patrick.
at that? No, I'm not saying it was not a good
Sorry,
pitch,
Mike,
but
I'm sorry.
But do you think that helped sell it? Did you always go in with the other shows thinking that they would be on board? I guess that's the better.
No, I like this one. I think all of my ideas, I picture cable,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
streaming nowadays. But this probably is the most mainstream. So I don't know. I could have. I shouldn't have been quite so surprised. But it's hard to say, like the attached production company people, how much they help. I think NBC and Peacock know that Lauren's not really going to be hands-on.
Sure.
But at the same time, me and Lauren and Andrew Singer took Glenn out to dinner in LA at some point, and that may have helped a guy who Glenn always was nice about saying he loved this script, but he had a full-time show and would be juggling that, and I think knew there were some movies and things on the horizon. I think he did a season of Fargo or something. So having a dinner where Lauren's like, this is going to be a cool show, we'd love to have you, probably does help with that a little bit.
Do you think Lauren watched Sunny beforehand?
That's
I'm just curious if
good
he would
question.
like Sunny.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. I binged it in a way I hadn't been.
Yeah.
I
There's
just
a lot of it.
there's a lot, and
There is.
I wasn't like at SNL. I wouldn't watch comedy much, so I was behind on a lot of shows. But it was fun to binge it. And one guy, Charlie McCracken, who plays Coach,
So funny.
and was in the writers' room, he watched all of them, and so we would rely on him because. But still, there's so many, 180 now or something, that we would trip over things all the time. And Glenn would be like, there was one that was really funny because it was so small, but it was something like a specific type of car, like a Chevy Impala or whatever. And he's like, there's a whole episode where Dennis is really talking a lot about Impalas, and we can just change that. And I'm like, yeah, it can be any.
That's so funny.
And he was always nice about it. He knew we couldn't have watched. The worst one was that we got really far into writing a fake, what are those called, where they, like clip shows?
Yeah.
Where the cast is sitting around and they're like, remember the time but ours would all be from things that never happened.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And then found out past the outline phase that Sonny had done an almost exact one.
Oh my God.
And just had to throw it out. And then we wrote the Harvard Pen, which was like the finale.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, a fun thing about Harvard Pen, the season 4, episode 8, is the first scene in it. We had to recreate the cold open of the pilot that we just saw.
Yeah.
And so it's a 4 years later recreation. It's not even the same cast of students.
Oh, wow.
And they're all like much
That's
older
great.
now.
Yeah.
Now they're all 25.
That's funny.
And but getting it shot for shot was really fun.
How long did that take, do you think? Were you guys just sitting on set with screenshots or like watching the video back or something like that?
We would, and I think it was Katie Locke O'Brien who was directing, but she had really done her homework and was like, now the camera should move a little bit this way and everything. But they just had to find old props.
Sure.
There's a comic book that Anthony's looking at, Eddie Levy, that never was a thing again, and they had to dig it up and stuff.
That's great.
We should do another episode. Do you guys want to do one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, we'll say goodbye for now. Come back in a few weeks and we'll show the next episode.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Hey, this is Mike O'Brien. I forgot the one rule of this podcast, and when my name first came on screen, I did not say, hey, that's me. So we're going to do this in post. Here we go. Hey, that's me. No, wait. Hey, that's me. Okay.
That was a good one.
Good pilot.
Very funny. Pilots are hard.
Yes.
There's not a lot of great pilots. Shows get better as they go on, but that pilot hit the ground running.
Do you have a favorite sitcom pilot?
Dexter. What's the matter?
You think it's a sitcom?
Yeah, it's really funny. It's just about a guy doing his best. About a normal guy
Yeah.
just doing his best.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah,
I'll
what's
take
your
that
favorite sitcom pilot?
Probably Dexter New Blood.
Very funny.
Very
funny. Yeah, I like the whole will they, won't they
Yeah.
that he and Diane Chambers have.
Will he? Will he kill those serial killers?
And
Will
in
they
good
not?
news, he will. By the way, speaking of, Cheers is my pilot.
Yes.
My favorite comedy pilot. It's like a great mini play.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I think the Cheers pilot. I think the Arrested Development pilot's really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
I like the 30 Rock pilot. It feels very different from the rest of the show, but I kind of like that.
Still good. And you always, I know you forgot it, but you constantly talk about him when we're not recording, is The Cosby Show. You are such a fan of Bill Cosby. You said you've never seen his work, just him as a person.
Do you have a least favorite sitcom pilot?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
good.
I love
Good
them
answer.
all. I
Good
love
answer.
them all. Young Sheldon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say this. We have a Patreon, and you should go to it because we have a lot of cool extras up. And why haven't you registered and become a follower?
That's
Patreon?
true. There's different levels. You get different things, but if you sign up, you'll get to hear who's coming on soon, and you can submit questions for us to ask during the show.
Pictures.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we've talked about on there. There are the movies or TV shows synced up with the commentaries. You can watch that on there.
We're gonna we have giveaways soon,
We have giveaways. We have giveaways now. We'll do giveaways anytime.
and we're gonna do private. We're gonna do our podcasts.
Yeah.
Aren't you and I just gonna do them? And
Yeah.
and you only hear them if you go on Patreon.
you can even, if you do a certain level, you and I can watch your favorite thing,
That's
and
not
we will
incentive
podcast
though.
it.
It's so boring to do that with
I don't think so. I think it's fun. People want
boy.
to talk about the things they
I'm just
like.
kidding. No, it's great.
I'm gonna cut that out because it makes people not want to do it.
What if people choose a movie that you do not want to watch, or it's just hard to watch?
I think there's very few movies that I'm like that.
Terrifier 3. Would you watch it with them?
No, but I would talk to them.
Wait, but what if they want to watch? They're like, listen, I paid whatever the highest amount.
If I would watch it. If someone paid that high amount and wanted to watch Terrifier 3, I would watch it.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't, which is
I
fine.
wouldn't.
You're not part of the deal. So
But if it was Police Academy 4, yeah,
Sure.
sign me up.
Which one is that?
Citizens on Patrol.
okay, we love that one.
You can try and stump me. I'm going to know all of them.
Let's name them all and then we'll wrap up for the day.
Okay. Police Academy.
Yeah.
Police Academy 2, Back in Training. Police Academy 3. Wait, I got it wrong. Police Academy. Police Academy 2, Their First Assignment. Police Academy 3, Back in Training. Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach. Police Academy 6, City Under Siege. Police Academy 7, Mission to Moscow.
Okay.
There's also Police Academy the series and Police Academy the animated series. There's also Police Academy Toy Line.
Wow. Okay.
So I did know it. Smartass. I did know it.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. We hope
Don't
you
end
really
it-
enjoyed it.
Don't end it like I'm mad. I'm not mad. It was a joke. Anyway, Police Academy is really good. We should get Gutenberg.
Sure. Sure.
Do you have any good Gutenberg stories, Ben?
Not ones I'll tell on the podcast.
Okay, cool. What if he's here, though? Would you tell it to his face?
I would probably remind him.
Oh, great. Okay, well, that's my new Cameron Crowe then. I want Cameron Crowe and Steve Gutenberg in the same room for a podcast.
Thank you so much for listening to the show as always. We hope you'll check out the back catalog, and we've got a lot of really cool ones coming up soon that we've already recorded.
Usually Patrick's full of shit, but he's correct on that case. There's such good episodes coming up.
Yeah, that have not been teased or mentioned or anything.
Gonna blow your mind.
They're gonna blow your mind. Thank you so much again. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me Commentary Podcast. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Your hosts have been Brian Lynch and Patrick Hotner. Music was by Alex Peabody, and our art was by Abigail Noy. You can find out more about the show by going to heythat'smepod.com and checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary. The show was recorded by Stephen Ray Morris. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Please tell your friends about this show.